I don't want to just skip past a championship in the sport by merely dismissing it as, for me, anticlimax. But it was such a bummer not to be able to follow this entire season of storylines to the end of would Haliburton be able to test them on the road and make OKC earn a championship in a way a team that young normally wouldn't win, even with its regular season credentials. What I was telling you about teams this good during the regular season, all of them whip through the playoffs. They lose a maximum of 3 times the entire playoffs because they're way too good. OKC just won a series where they were a clearly better team that got dragged into the mud, and I wanted to see them have to earn it at the end of Game 7. And as soon as Haliburton went out, and I feel like I'm covering sports wrong if that's my reaction. A champion is a champion. A champion, it's hard to earn a championship. Injuries happen all the time, and just because I was emotionally disappointed that Game 7 didn't provide the narrative I wanted, that series ended and the basketball season ended in a way that felt unsatisfying to me because I wanted to see the MVP have to win it, not go 8 for 27 and be able to score 100 points and kind of win it, but with everyone out there playing terribly.
But when you look back on champions, you don't care. Time forgets whether they won a series by a sweep or whether they won it in 7 games. And time will eventually forget that they won this one partly because Haliburton got hurt early in the final game. Nobody's going to give OKC as much credit. And when you say that other teams with regular seasons like that dominate more than they did in the playoffs, none of those other teams were as young as OKC. They were learning on the fly how to win, and they did so with an asterisk. The Haliburton asterisk is going to be there for a little bit.
Not really. It doesn't matter. Kawhi won the one in Toronto whether Golden State was hurt or not. Yeah, Kawhi won the one in Toronto.
Right. Yeah, but Kawhi also did so without being able to have 2 feet leave the ground. Like, look at those highlights. Kawhi was very clearly injured, too. He was fighting through it. And I think you're selling them short. It wasn't just Haliburton. Yeah, the injury happened earlier in the series, and he had to tough it out. But Denver was injured. Denver was not healthy when they went through Denver. Anthony Edwards was dealing with injuries when they went through Minnesota. They got very lucky.
Okay,
this is a second straight year that the NBA champion, who you have questions as to whether or not they can get over the hump and conquer some of the mental aspects, didn't actually have to take on the best shot of any of their competitors.
Okay, they got lucky, but at the same time, when somebody with the best regular season record, they won wire to wire, OKC. Give them that credit. They won wire to wire this season.
Yes.
They own the season.
Yes. I love what you're doing right now where you're swinging the top of your thermos wildly while you make a point. I think it should be a new signature of yours.
Right.
3 players tore their Achilles here. Mike, you have this way of just saying tough it out, grind it out when, like, that's what it looks like when you're ignoring your body screaming and looking in Game 6 like your body's healthy when it's not healthy, and then other things start breaking.
I'm saying tough it out, grind it out because everyone does this year. I'm just highlighting the fact that for the second straight year, the NBA champion has had a stroke of good luck. Now, you need some good luck, but injuries to the team's best or second best players. You saw what happened with Aaron Gordon. You saw what happened with Anthony Edwards. You see what happened with Haliburton. These are footnotes, much like the Celtics last year, who kept having the favorable luck of running into a team that had an injury to the best player. But I do want to talk about the Achilles thing, because this used to be a rare injury in the NBA. It used to be a death sentence.
It's a rare injury in all sports.
And it's not happening to random people now. We had 3 superstars suffer this injury, 2 of which not even in their primes, still entering their primes in Jason Tatum and Tyrese Haliburton. You had Lillard, who everyone kind of expected that. It gave off the vibes the same way that the Haliburton injury did. Oh, this calf strain, if you push through, that usually means it's an Achilles. But this is a really unprecedented time in NBA history to have that catastrophic of an injury happen to 3 superstars, 3 future Hall of Famers.
How about all 3 of them, Tatum, Lillard, and Haliburton, all were number 0?